Bear Talk is produced by the Golden Bear Gazette, Mount Juliet High School student newspaper.
Hello, my fellow creatures, and welcome back to Bear Talk. I'm your host, Marzella.
I'm your host, Jackson.
And I'm your host, Everett.
In today's episode, we will be discussing the latest music charts, and we'll be continuing some segments, including Vocation with Marzella Kaler interviewing Mr. Roets, and Club Highlights with Arian. Let's talk about music.
Whoop whoop.
Latest music, huh? Yeah, that's my intro. Latest music. I know nothing about latest music. What's the latest?
I don't really.
I think we picked the wrong people to talk about this.
No, yeah, because the radio station I listen to only listens to it's like a public radio for Nashville.
Yeah.
So I'm not really on iHeart 107 or yeah.
Well,
The Fish.
The Fish.
Fish?
What's the? Is that your radio?
It's like
No, that's not my
What's the
radio
fish?
station.
What's the fish?
No, I'm asking him what the fish is.
What the
Fish?
fish?
It's a radio station.
Well,
oh my God. Okay, wait. Time out. Bad Habit by Steve Lacy.
Play it.
I literally.
that's number 2 on
Okay,
the Billboard.
No.
Okay,
Yes.
well, what do you think
Spotify
about
says it's
it?
number one.
That's a really good song.
I think it's a lovely song.
don't think I've ever heard
Harry Styles. I mean, he's pretty slay. I think as it was, it's getting overplayed, but that's okay.
By Harry
I
Styles?
literally don't know any of these songs.
I forget
so
Harry Styles is a singer. Oh, As It Was. I get it.
Super Freaky Girl.
I don't know.
Joji. Is that how you say that? Joji? Pretty
Joji.
sure, because
I
that's the
think
one
it's
that.
Joji.
Yeah, that's the one that played or sang "Slow Dancing" or "Slow Dancing in the Dark." You know
Oh,
what
I
I'm talking
remember.
about?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a very good song. Okay, all the other ones are irrelevant.
I know a grand total.
Oh, Running Up That Hill is on the radio. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that was like a big thing in the summer because of Stranger Things.
Yes,
4,
which-
yeah.
No Stranger Things.
Shut up, Everett.
Don't even.
Everett,
I'm kidding. Sorry.
come on.
Also, Master of Puppets, because Eddie Munson played that as his,
He did
going
do that.
out.
Spoiler.
Spoiler. Dies and dies and dies.
No! No! Can we bleep it out? Spoiler, and it's a long bleep.
Spoiler. You can't say.
Oh my God. So none of you guys listen to the radio?
My entire Spotify playlists are.
Wow, that's so cool.
Sorry.
Me too.
My entire Spotify playlists are just from my Discover Weekly playlists. I don't listen to that stuff.
I don't know.
I'm not like the other.
Spotify or Apple Music?
No, I've been grounded for over a year,
Spotify.
so the radio has been my life and my
Spotify.
bones.
You're an Apple Music guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Everyone who is an Apple Music guy.
What's that subtle?
Everett.
Was that so? I
Everett,
think
what
that's
are
funny.
Everett, what are you listening to right now?
Right now, I really like. I want to say Vivaldi's new album, but Vivaldi's dead, and so is everyone else I listen to. Do you hear Beethoven's new hit? No, you did
It was a banger.
Yeah, you did not hear it.
I think I heard it on the radio the other day, actually. It was very.
I wonder what the least favorite song. What's at the bottom of the
What's
list?
at the bottom?
What is the most unpopular song?
Unpopular, or just one I literally despise with my gut and
it's-
my butt.
Is it popular?
Burn, Burn,
because
Burn
it-
by Zach
Burn, Burn.
Bryan.
Oh, Zach Bryan can
Who even
kiss
is
me.
that?
I love. Are you kidding me? Do you know who Tyler Childers is?
Who?
Tyler Childers.
Who's that?
Okay, all right. Well, it's Americana, kind of folky. So we want to hear about your favorite artist, except for Everett, because he listens to Vivaldi, and that's irrelevant. There is going to be a poll on our Instagram.
MJ_Bear Talk.
Okay, slay. So make sure you put your input on that. Say your favorite artist and their song.
And if
Or-
you say the wrong one, you get blocked.
Correct. And then we won't put it in here if we don't like it.
Yep.
Like Vivaldi.
I'm not gonna comment. Vivaldi.
I'm just kidding. I'm not hating on Vivaldi. Before we get into our segments, here's a few words from our sponsor. If you haven't gotten a yearbook yet, you're going to want one. There are many things that you will remember about this year, and there are many things that make this year memorable.
As you make memories this year and overcome challenges, we encourage you to always remember by purchasing a 2023 yearbook.
Current prices are $85 plus tax. Please visit room B118 to get yours today.
Buy your book.
Buy your book.
Make the most of it.
Remember all of it.
The Golden Leaf.
Speaking of music and artists, let's move on to a special interview with a musician here in the school.
On this week's Vocation, we are joined with Mr. Roets. How are you today, Mr. Roets?
Doing well. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. So before you started teaching, I hear you had a lot of experience in music. So tell us a bit about that. Where did it start and how did it grow from there?
Sure. I've always been a singer, performer. Since I was a kid, my parents knew that I enjoyed doing it, but sports kind of took over my life. Baseball was what I did. And then when I got my injury in college, going into to school in the UNC system, I decided that I wanted to kind of seek that out a little bit more. Went to North Carolina School of the Arts, studied performance, and then also worked on minoring in music at the same time. Got into opera, and then that's kind of where it started, and kept performing from there.
Oh, that's so interesting. So was there anyone that was just a big inspiration to you your life?
I had a lot of different people. Jamie Varnador, my music teacher who has now passed, but Debbie Watwood was huge in getting me to perform. Just kind of nurtured my voice and encouraged me to always perform. So.
And how did you get to meet that person?
Went to school. She was my music teacher through school, so it was an elective class, so it wasn't something that I was super interested in at the time, but it was something that I had to take. And I was one of those students who was like, I'm here, but I don't really want to be here. And she made me want to be there. And by doing so, every class, every year after that, I would make sure that I was back in that room. And it just kind of inspired me. After I left, I didn't know that I was going to do that professionally, but it always came back to the lessons and the things that I got in that classroom.
Yes, it's incredible to have great mentors in your life. And what are some unforgettable experiences from your time in the music industry?
Wow. Well, I got to perform in Hans Zimmer's studio in LA, which is one of the most incredible experiences that I've had so far. We worked on the Guns, the album, which was a half pro-gun legislation, half anti-gun legislation, and it was a bunch of different stars that worked together on that album. I got to work alongside Terrence Mann and a bunch of really just powerhouse kind of Broadway stars and film stars. And I got to sing solo on one of the tracks called Greenleaf on the album, which was the first place that mandated that their citizens have guns to protect their family. And so I sang a Broadway-style Beauty and the Beast kind of track set to orchestrations done by Hans Zimmer's studio. So it's like in the background of a lot of the album, you hear kind of Pirates of the Caribbean kind of sound to the track, but set to like Broadway-esque music, which was really cool. And I just had an amazing group of singers behind me and people to work with. So.
That's incredible. Hans Zimmer, man.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, do you still like dabble in music today? Or?
Very much so. It's my hobby. It's kind of what I do on the side. I have a guitarist that I play with here in Nashville, and we do a bunch of different sets, but I'm a father now. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. I coach baseball, and then I work on a bunch of different projects. So my time is limited, but it's kind of my vent. It's the way that I let out a lot of my my creativity, and it still excites me. So that's the stuff that I do whenever I have the time. So I write, I try to do a little bit of orchestration, kind of like music scoring if I can, just because that's fun for me. But a lot of the time I end up just kind of writing acoustic ballads and songs like that. So.
Is there songs that we could listen to that are out from you?
So I've never made the actual push to publish like my stuff. I have a lot of songs out there, and like that track you can get on all kinds of different platforms, the Greenleaf track. But my music specifically, I have stuff that's on like YouTube and on Instagram and random things like that, and covers that I do of people's music. But my music, I haven't actually made an album. I made one. I take that back. I made one in college that I'm not super proud of.
Oh, gosh.
But it's a buddy of mine, John Rosal, played guitar for me before he joined the Marine Corps, and he and I worked together for a while, just kind of writing. It was like a little EP album that we did.
Is that still out there for us to find and dig deep?
I'm sure in the dark web somewhere it's out there. It's not like on any kind of major platform or anything like that, but
Well,
it's around.
Teenagers are very, very, very good at finding dirt on people.
I found in my classroom, people find the most random headshot or something that's out there and include it into projects that they turn in or something like that. So
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast with us, and we really appreciate your time.
no problem.
Hello, we're here with our orchestra club teacher, Miss Grossman. So, Miss Grossman, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. Well, Miss Grossman, could you tell us a little bit about Orchestra Club?
Sure. So I've restarted the Orchestra Club to basically reach out to those students that already play a string instrument, violin, viola, cello, or bass. I know there's a lot of kids over the last 2 years that wanted to be in the orchestra class, but since it hasn't been available, I wanted to make it so that if a kid already plays an instrument, they at least have a place to play after school here at Mount Juliet High School.
Definitely. And for anyone looking to join Orchestra Club, would you have any advice for them or any information?
Sure. So we meet Wednesdays after school until 4:45. Right now we have 6 students. They all play violin. We're still looking for viola or cello or string bass. If you play that, please come down and talk to me in room A175. That's the band room down in OSOC. And they could totally join if they play already. Unfortunately, we're not taking new or beginners right now, but if you already play an instrument, whatever level, definitely come and talk to me about that.
So, Ms. Grossman, what would you like to say about the future of orchestra at MJHS?
Sure. So we used to have an orchestra class, both beginning orchestra and then a chamber strings group. And I'd love to bring that back, hopefully next year, if it all works out and there's enough interest. So we're trying to create that interest as much as possible, just first by getting the orchestra club started for those that already play. And then next year, when people start to register for their following year coming up, they can hopefully register for beginning orchestra. And that's where students can learn how to play the violin, the viola, the cello, or the string bass.
That's awesome. Thank you very much for being here, Ms. Grossman.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
This is our last regular episode until after fall break. You will hear from Jackson and Marzella when they return with the ACT Special Edition episode. Make sure to follow us and know when it drops. Before we drop our next episode, be sure to go to our Instagram at MJBearTalk. October will be Breast Cancer Awareness Month, National Cookie Month, Bullying Prevention Month, and more. Stay tuned with us in the coming weeks as we feature these topics and more of your MJ news. If you would like to leave a news tip or would like to hear us feature a topic, drop it in our Dropbox outside B118. Here are a few notices before we catch you on our next episode. Fall break starts next week and goes from the 5th to the 14th of October. Math tutoring is in the mornings on Tuesdays and Fridays from 8 to 8:30. AP Music Theory registration is open for the spring semester. That's all we have for you this week. Keep it classy, MJ, and have a very great day.
Dun, 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 dun.